Welcome back, everybody. Chef David here with NuWave Ovens. Today we're working on our precision induction cooktop. I actually have one of the pans that we sell with it. Going to make a very simple winter-style vegetable dish, braised red cabbage. Similar to the way my gran used to make it, but with a little chef difference to it. And we'll get started right away. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the PIC onto high. That's 425 degrees. Hit start. Let this start heating up. And while it does, I'm going to cut an onion. I'm going to cut some bacon. Those are going to be the base aromatics for this dish, okay? Onion, very simple. A nice thin julienne or matchstick, okay? Now, you don't have to cut fast like me. Take your time. Practice. Put these in the pan. Notice I'm putting them in dry right now because the pan's not that hot. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this beautiful. This is actually a lovely smoked pork belly from Wisconsin. It's wonderful. It's a very popular brand where I am here in Illinois. Okay, I'm going to cut 1-inch slabs, big thick pieces, almost like bacon. And then from that, I'm going to cut basically 1-inch big old matchsticks. I want to have some texture to the dish later. I don't mind a bite of nice smoky bacon. And this is going to crisp up a little bit in this hot pan. Some of the fat's going to render and help cook the onions, along with a little bit of butter. Just a little bit of butter, I promise. Remember, bacon is not only smoked, it's cured. So it's basically fully cooked. We're just reheating it. Very tasty. So there's our bacon. And I'm going to add some butter. Now, while that's starting to cook, let's talk about the cabbage. I split the cabbage head in half so you can see the core. The core we have to remove. And the easiest way to remove the core is to cut your half in half again. So now I have a quarter of a head of cabbage, and just basically on an angle with my knife, slice right through the core and compost it. Let that get into your garden some way and grow some more cabbage. Same with the other piece. Now from here, I can shred the cabbage with my knife. They also sell hand shredders I've seen. I like to do it just with my knife. Okay, now we have a couple of differences in this recipe than what my grandma used to do. And basically, grandma would melt butter and onions. She didn't always use smoked bacon because it was expensive. She'd put her cabbage and onions in there, and she'd finish it with a little brown sugar and some white vinegar, kind of give it a sweet and sour effect. So basically what I've changed is a couple things. One, instead of using sugar, I'm going to use something much healthier called agave nectar. It comes from the same plant they make tequila from. It's a great sugar substitute, also a good substitute for honey. I've got some very good quality red wine vinegar instead of opposed to traditional white vinegar, distilled vinegar. I've got a little beef broth that we made. And as a garnish, I've got some roasted chestnuts I bought, already peeled and roasted. Now, in my part of the state, we get a lot of chestnuts, and we could easily peel and roast our own. But I won't hold it against you if you buy them. Onions, bacon, nice and fragrant, starting to melt. In go the chestnuts. Chestnuts actually even roasted, are a little starchy. And cooking them at this stage in the cooking process is going to help release their sugars, make them a little less chewy, and also really change that roasted flavor from starchy, almost potato-like, to something really sweet. So you can have the sweet chestnut, smoky bacon, the vinegar, and then the sweetness from the agave. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful braised cabbage dish. Inexpensive, easy to make. So, now in goes our cabbage. Try not to spill it. Break it up. Now this, as this cooks, it's going to start to break down, melt right into the pan. And that's what we want. Now you can cook this completely right on top of the PIC. Okay, I'm going to add a pinch of salt at this stage because if you've seen my other videos, you know that salt on a vegetable is going to help withdraw liquid and help to steam a little bit. This is not really a dish where we want the vegetable, the main vegetable, the cabbage, to caramelize. Salt, butcher cracked pepper, you know I love. Okay, so now from here, we got that good sound going at 425 degrees or high on our PIC. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add vinegar. And I'm going to add the agave. which is a wonderful, wonderful flavor. If you haven't tried this, agave nectar, guys, get out there and try it. It's not that expensive. Good for your glycemic index, so forth. Really good alternative to sugar. Now you see the vinegar has cooled down the pan, and that's fine. It's just going to take about 25 minutes to cook stovetop. In goes the beef broth. I'll finish seasoning it later once it's cooked. I'll taste it for salt and add if we need it. And then, I love fresh bay leaves. So let's put 2 of those in. This one's got a bug bite. I can compost it. 2 nice bay leaves right on top. Very simply, let's put the lid right on there. In 30 minutes when we come back, we're going to have some wonderful braised red cabbage with chestnuts. Welcome back, everybody. Chef David here with NuWave Oven, cooking on our precision induction cooktop. Let's finish off our winter braised cabbage with chestnuts. So it's been simmering away. I'm going to turn off the PIC by hitting the pause button twice. Take the lid off, let the condensation drain. Now be careful, this is hot. Okay, the bay leaves, are not edible, although they look nice as a garnish sometimes. Very simple dish. Roasted chestnuts, good smoked bacon. I've done this where I've added apples to it at the end. You can squeeze a little lemon over it right at the end for a little extra bite. You can see how the sugar and the vinegar came together, broke down the cabbage. Big chunks of beautiful bacon in here, or the smoked pork butt, or smoked pork belly for that matter. And that was a half a head of cabbage. This will easily feed quite a few people. Let's get some of the broth in there. That's my favorite part, to dip some bread in. Some more of the bacon on top. Everybody likes smoked bacon. We have a guy named Charles up there in our booth, loves smoked bacon. So this dish is for Charles. There's our bay leaf on top. And this is our winter braised red cabbage with roasted chestnuts. Enjoy.